Jack was 25 years old, a young American tourist full of dreams. He had always wanted to travel far away from home, to a place that looked like paradise. When he saw pictures of Phuket, Thailand, online, he was amazed. White sand, tall palm trees, luxury villas with rooftop swimming pools. The advertisements showed happy tourists smiling, drinking cocktails, and taking selfies with the ocean in the background. It looked too good to be true. Jack thought, this is heaven on earth. I must go. After saving money for months, Jack finally booked a flight and a resort villa. The resort promised luxury at a low price. The pictures showed a rooftop pool with no crowds, private rooms, and a view of the sparkling sea. Jack imagined himself relaxing there, taking pictures for Instagram, and showing off his amazing holiday. He could already hear the likes and comments from his friends back home. When he arrived in Phuket, everything seemed magical. The airport was busy, filled with tourists from around the world. Outside, the warm air smelled of salt and food from street stalls. A taxi driver welcomed him with a smile and drove him through winding roads, past beaches, markets, and hills covered in green trees. Jack pressed his face against the window like a child. "Wow, this place is incredible," he whispered. Finally, the car stopped at the resort. From the outside, it looked perfect, bright lights, flowers, and a receptionist smiling politely. Jack checked in quickly, his heart racing with excitement. A staff member carried his bag up to the villa. When the door opened, Jack gasped. The room was large, modern, and beautiful. But what caught his attention most was the rooftop swimming pool. The pool was built at the very edge of the rooftop. Beyond it was nothing but open air, with the ocean far below. There was a short wall, but no tall railing or barrier to stop someone from falling. Jack noticed it for only a second. Instead of worrying, he felt thrilled. "This is amazing. What a view. This will look perfect on my Instagram," he said, already pulling out his phone. That evening, Jack changed into his swim shorts and jumped into the rooftop pool. The water was cool, the sky was painted with the colors of sunset, and the ocean stretched endlessly in front of him. He floated on his back, thinking, "I have never felt so free. This is the life I always wanted." As darkness fell, he walked around the pool, taking selfies. He stood near the edge, leaning back slightly to capture the sea behind him. His friends back home sent messages full of excitement. "Bro, that's insane. You're living the dream." Jack smiled proudly. He didn't think about the missing railing, the slippery tiles, or the danger of being so close to the edge. He thought only of likes, views, and attention. Later, he met two other tourists staying nearby. They were friendly and invited him to join them for drinks. Jack happily agreed. They sat by the pool, laughing, drinking beer, and sharing travel stories. The music from someone's speaker played softly in the background. The night air was warm, and the city lights glowed below. Everything felt perfect. Jack thought, nothing bad can happen in a place this beautiful. But sometimes beauty hides danger. And sometimes paradise can turn into a trap. The night grew darker, and the small rooftop villa became alive with laughter. Jack and his new friends were having the time of their lives. They clinked their bottles together and shouted, "Cheers to Thailand." Music grew louder, and their voices mixed with the sound of waves crashing far below. The rooftop pool reflected the moonlight, making the water look like silver. Jack was drinking more now. His steps became lighter, his voice louder, his smile wider. He wanted to dance, to live, to capture every moment. He took his phone again and started recording videos. "Guys, check this out," he shouted into the camera. "Thailand is paradise. This view is insane." His followers back home would see him laughing, drinking, living the dream. He felt like a star. His friends warned him when he walked near the pool edge. "Hey Jack, be careful. The tiles are wet," one of them said. Jack laughed and waved his hand. "Don't worry, I'm fine. Look at this angle, it's perfect for a shot." He balanced himself near the very edge, stretching out his arms, trying to look cool and fearless. His phone's camera light shone brightly as he leaned back to capture the pool and the city lights behind him. But danger was only one step away. The tiles were slippery. His balance was weak. His foot suddenly slipped. For a second, time froze. His phone flew out of his hand, spinning in the air. His arms waved wildly as he tried to catch himself. His friends gasped and screamed, "Jack!" But it was too late. Jack's body tipped over the edge. The short wall was no protection. He fell into the darkness. The sound of his body hitting the ground below echoed like thunder. His friends rushed to the edge, screaming, crying, calling his name. Down below, Jack lay still. The music stopped. The laughter disappeared. The rooftop, once filled with joy, was now filled with horror. Resort staff came running. Someone called an ambulance. Jack's friends hurried down the stairs, tears streaming down their faces. When they reached him, he was breathing weakly, his body broken. Paramedics arrived quickly, but despite their efforts, Jack's injuries were too severe. Within minutes, his life slipped away. The night of celebration had turned into tragedy. Police arrived and questioned the witnesses. They measured the pool, the wall, the rooftop. Locals shook their heads. "This happens too often," one of them said quietly. "Tourists come, they drink, they climb near the edge. These resorts care more about pictures than safety." Another added, "There should be stronger barriers. But no one fixes it. And every year, someone dies." Jack's friends were heartbroken. They told the police, "We warned him, but he didn't listen. He thought it was safe. He thought it was fun." The officers nodded sadly. They had heard the same story many times before. The combination of alcohol, careless design, and excitement made the resorts look like paradise, but act like traps. The next morning, the resort was quiet. The rooftop pool was empty, the chairs abandoned, the laughter gone. Only the sound of waves and birds filled the air. But beneath that calm was the memory of what had happened the night before. News spread quickly. "American tourist falls to his death from Phuket resort rooftop," the headlines read. Some newspapers showed pictures of the villa, the pool at the edge, the missing railing. Comments filled the internet. Some blamed Jack for being careless. Others blamed the resort for poor safety. But all agreed. Another life was lost too soon. Jack's body was prepared to be sent back home to his family in the United States. His parents received the call no parent ever wants. His mother cried, "He just wanted to see the world. Why did it have to end like this?" His father held the phone in silence, his heart broken. Back in Phuket, the police once again warned resorts to improve their safety. But many locals knew the truth. Money mattered more than lives. Tourists came for cheap luxury, for beautiful pictures, for adventure. Resorts built faster, cheaper, flashier. Safety was often forgotten. And every year, another tourist paid the price. Some tourists at the same resort decided to check out early. One woman whispered to her husband, "If it happened to him, it could happen to us. This place is not safe." They packed their bags and left. Others stayed but felt uneasy whenever they looked at the pool. The paradise now felt haunted. Jack's friends returned home, carrying with them memories not of joy but of horror. They told others, "Be careful. Don't trust the pictures. Don't risk your life for likes." But they knew their words could never bring Jack back. Weeks later, the rooftop villa looked the same as before. The pool still sparkled. The ocean still shone. New tourists arrived, smiling, taking selfies, unaware of the tragedy. The resort marketed itself as paradise again. But those who knew the truth whispered quietly, "It's not paradise. It's a trap." And so the lesson remained. Do not risk your life for photos. Do not trust beauty without safety. Greed for attention can be as dangerous as greed for money. A single careless step can cost everything. Jack's story became a warning. A reminder that behind the smiles of travel brochures, behind the glowing pictures on Instagram, danger can hide. Thailand's resorts are beautiful, but some are not safe. They can be tourist traps, sometimes, even death traps.